Hey, this is Lorena and I would like to make a video for you. This is a piecing video for you piecers, you quilt top makers. Yeah, this is for you. This quilt top, this quilt block makes this quilt top. All you need to do is learn how to make one block that I designed, that I came up with, that I kind of changed up on my program, and this is what happened. If you're interested in making this quilt block top, which is the quilt block, please join Lorena's Quilting Facebook group. I will download a PDF sometime today or tomorrow on the quilt block itself and the schematic of the quilt top and measurements and cutting diagrams and stuff like that. Okay, so here is a schematic of what your quilt block will look like. It is really simple. It really is. It doesn't look like nothing special, but when you see it as a quilt top, it really looks beautiful. And this is your quilt top if you do this. Now, I wanted to share with you, these are what the PDFs that I'm going to download on Lorena's Quilting Facebook group, and the schematic and cutting diagrams. I chose 3 dark colors with different hues and 4 light colors. You don't have to do that. You could just pick one color of lights, but I'm a little bit fancy. I'm also sharing with you here how I cut my half square triangles. I cut them 4 inches, not like the instructions that say 3 7/8. I cut on the diagonal and then I sewed on each side 1/4. And then I went ahead and ironed. You can draw a line and then sew on each side, but I like it this way because you can chain piece. And then you go ahead and iron to the dark side. Okay, iron to the dark side. I love this technique a lot, and I'm going to share why. Because once you go and get your ruler and follow that 45-degree line, and you trim off that excess material, you know for sure that your half square triangle is 3.5, or your half square triangle is whatever size you've made it to be exactly. I used to do the 3 7/8 before, and I was thinking that I did it right. A lot of times my half square triangles were not the right size, and that affected my piecing. But this way, it's more accurate because I know exactly what my half square triangles look like, and that they're the exact size they need to be. So this is what the block is going to look like, and I'm going to show you what it looks like with all that beautiful material. Now, I did change up the fabric a little bit. It wasn't exactly like that, but I'm sharing with you what it looks like. And then I pieced from the top, from the left to the right, and I ended up having a whole bunch of problems, guys, flipping the rows and getting them in the wrong direction. So I decided to start chain piecing my rows together, like you see here. Every single row is kind of connected with itself so that you don't flip it the wrong way. Now this gets a little bit fussy when you're ironing, because I usually iron my fabric in one direction on one row and I iron my fabric in the opposite direction on the other row. So it took a little bit of niggling. It took a little bit of fussing, but after a while it was okay and it worked out. My favorite part of this is I sat down and I pinned the top rows and made sure that they were snugged up together and that everything was in alignment where it needed to be. And I pinned that row, and then I ended up pinning the bottom section of this row and making sure that everything was lined up. I really like this technique because I ended up finding out I made less mistakes. I ended up flipping my fabric less. My favorite part is you go ahead and sew all the way down, and I like it when you pin because you can literally just sew straight, sew the other direction, and all I had to worry about now is pinning that center seam, and my block was completely done, and I knew that it wasn't flipped around or that a half square triangle was in the wrong direction, because that's what I was doing on this block a lot. This is what the quilt block looks like when it's completely done. And here you see me ironing the underneath the quilt block, making sure that all the seams are nice and flat. And then in a minute, I'm going to flip the quilt block over. I'm going to spray some starch on it because I like a nice, lightly stiffened block. I let the starch kind of settle into the fibers of the fabric and steam it with hot steam, so when I start putting it in the rows and make the quilt top, it doesn't warp or shift on me. I really do hope you like this video, and I hope that maybe you will try to make this beauty. I thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Hopefully I'm going to upload a couple videos like that. Yeah, I'm excited. I think things are settling down. Hopefully, yeah. All right, bye.